Look around you, what do you see? Today, the world is moving faster than ever before. We believe technology is the heart of any business and being quick is its speed. At BlazeClan, we help organizations transform their business by leveraging the power of cloud. Your business has your brains and we provide you the technology. BlazeClan is an award-winning, born-in-the-cloud service provider. We provide end-to-end cloud services. Welcome to BlazeClan. Let's cloud IT better.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Varoon, Rajani, Chief Executive Officer, BlazeClan.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Varoon Rajani, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of BlazeClan Technologies. In today's session, we'll touch upon a topic which is very close to our heart because we are helping many customers in Singapore, in Southeast Asia, and beyond in building applications for the cloud era. And in this session, we'll talk about what a modern enterprise means, how modern enterprises are transforming themselves today to compete with a lot of global startups that are there and who are reaching to millions of users and consumers much faster than the traditional enterprises would have ever done. And then we'll talk about certain use cases, certain examples of how we have deployed some of these architectures, and talk about the fundamental principles of building modern-day architectures. And with this, before we start onto that, I just wanted to give an introduction about BlazeClan, on who we are, how we have worked with a lot of other customers globally, and then how we are continuing to help our customers in Singapore and beyond. So BlazeClan is a born-in-the-cloud premier consulting partner for AWS, which is the topmost tier for consulting partners in AWS. We've got vast experience working on AWS and modern architectures for over the last 8 years. We've been a partner for AWS for the last 6 years. And we've helped customers with with cloud architectures, cloud deployments, and automation projects for over a number of years. We've served more than 250 customers globally, and we've got a deep set of technical bench using which we are able to help our customers drive innovation in a much faster, in a much optimized way. And we are a global company. We are fast growing. We are working. Sorry. Is there a problem with the mic? Sound? All right. And we are a global company with presence across 7 different countries in 4 different continents. And we are here in Singapore as well as Malaysia and Southeast Asia. And we help our customers with the following services. We help our customers with cloud advisory services, which is helping enterprise customers understand how cloud can really help them build a cloud roadmap, and then help them with the migration of their applications, their servers onto cloud and onto modern-day architectures. We help the customers with a lot of automation. We help end-to-end automation with CI, CD, and configuration management on the infrastructure side. We work with a lot of other technology partners to enable that for our customers. And we also, of course, help our customers to do managed services once they are on cloud. So we have a 24/7 new age network operations center where we do continuous monitoring, automated monitoring, and automated patching, healing of infrastructure. And we solve thousands of tickets every day in an automated fashion for our customers, managing thousands of servers across different regions of AWS. And more recently, we have also started focusing on big data analytics and AI and ML. And we also help our customers re-architect their application for cloud and help them build cloud-native application architectures and help them with product development, which is truly cloud-native, serverless, microservices-driven architectures. These are some of the customers that we've worked with. You would see certain customers who are local Singaporean customers. You'll see some Southeast Asian customers, and of course, there are a lot of global customers that we've been working for over the last few years. We've served more than 250 customers, ranging from some unicorn startups to multi-billion-dollar enterprises as well. And we are very proud of what we've achieved, and really, we are really excited to see what the work that we do impacting the way the business is done for our customers. Of course, being focused on AWS, we've gained a lot of competencies which allows us to help our customers in a much better way. AWS recognizes partners with certain specializations. So today, we have certain specializations around managed services, around big data and analytics, around DevOps, and also financial services. More and more fintech companies, more and more financial services companies want to transform themselves and be able to reach out to their customers in a much faster and an easier way using cloud technologies and using automation technologies, some of which we'll talk about today as well. So while we've been working on cloud for the last few years, we still believe it's still day one. There is a lot more work to be done among us, with our partners, with our customers, and within our company itself, where we are really at the cusp of a big inflection point, which would come across in the next couple of years, where a lot of enterprises would transform themselves, and we'll be using some really big transformational projects in the next coming months. So, and for us to build those transformational services, to build those modern day architectures, we rely on our partner AWS. And as AWS's CTO, Mr. Werner Vogels, says that, they're building applications and tools for building modern day architectures. Some tools that AWS is building will allow us to build applications which we'll be continuing to use in 2020 and beyond. So we are really talking about certain transformational stuff, and we really are talking about building modern day enterprises using technology. So what is a modern day enterprise? What is the 21st century enterprise look like? So this slide is a bit of a cliche, and we've all probably seen it once, one or more time, wherein all of the companies listed on this slide are probably not older than 10 or 15 years old, and the impact that they've had in day-to-day lives of all of us, and the scale and the pace at which these companies have grown themselves is tremendous and unparalleled in history. If you see these companies, the way they differentiate themselves is through technology. So if I talk about taxi or car hailing applications like Uber or Grab, they were not existent 10 years back, right? They came into existence only after after the smartphones became more accessible to people. Only after the internet bandwidth became low cost and was much faster than a decade earlier. And they have disrupted a traditional industry, a taxi industry and car industry in a much bigger way, and the impact of which all of us feel on a day-to-day basis, where all of us use one or the other services almost on a daily basis. Similar with other companies which have enabled or democratized access to technology, access to their services in a much faster and a much better way, allowing us to simplify our lives. And they have disrupted a number of industries by doing that. Some industries have been disrupted in a bigger way, some in a smaller way, but then any industry which is traditional, is ripe, and is not using technology in the right way, is ripe for disruption. So what are the 21st century enterprise? How do you define a 21st century enterprise? And how can the traditional enterprises aspire to transform themselves into a 21st century enterprise and compete with these new age companies or new age enterprises or new age startups? We believe that for a 21st century enterprise, technology should be at the core of it. It should, anything that you build, anything that you transform, anything that you deliver as a service to your customer or a product to your customer has to have technology at its core. You need to be digitized. You need to be in the hands of the customer and not just be just a physical company any longer. You need to constantly innovate, take feedback from your customers, integrate that feedback into your products, integrate that feedback into your services, and give a better quality of service for your customers. And then it's not previously all the enterprises were monolithic. They wanted to do everything on their own. Taxi companies wanted to own the taxis. Hotel companies want to own the hotels. But it's about building an ecosystem in the new age. It's not about continuing to use, build on infrastructure, invest into infrastructure in a large scale, and then try and compete with companies who literally have very little infrastructure of their own apart from certain technology things. And you need to build an ecosystem around your enterprise, make use of your partners, make use of your customers, enterprises, your freelancers, and build an ecosystem that would allow you to drive outcome-based solutions for your customers. And then it's about value unification that leads to unified experience, and unified experience, as we have seen, leads to greater mind share, which leads to greater market share, and then of course, which leads to greater revenues and profit share for all the enterprises. So this is how, these are the basic tenets that we feel that any modern enterprise would adhere to. So if you see how has the modern enterprises changed, or how is the landscape for 21st century enterprise happening? So before the disruption of technology that has happened over the last 1 decade or so, and the drivers for any enterprises were typically doing consolidation, whether it's consolidation of their businesses, their infrastructure, their technology. They wanted everything under their control. They wanted everything under one roof. They would use certain sort of automation, but that was limited to their consolidation. And every few years, once they have their infrastructure, they would try and modernize, invest money into it, and try and modernize all of those infrastructure and things that they have invested into. And finally industrialize it, make it repetitive without taking any feedback, and just get the outputs and deliver the same results for the customer time and again, and then just try to deliver the same value at a low cost. That was the only innovation that they used to do. But with the advent of cloud, big data analytics, AI recently, and open source technologies, what we have seen is the companies or the modern day enterprises are moving towards agility. They're not focused on consolidation or cost. They are rather looking at business outcomes, on how their business outcomes help their end customers. They're looking at innovations and getting efficiencies to increase or improve their bottom lines. And then, of course, they are creating personas across different customer sets. So if I'm a hotel user today, and if I go to the same hotel chain in different cities, my room or my persona is with them. They collect some data to ensure that I get the same unified experience across different hotels for the same hotel chain that I travel through. Or same is with airlines, where every time I check in, my preferences are already stored, or they already know what my preferences are. So the technology disruption has really helped to be more customer focused, be more customer driven. And to do the transition towards the 21st century enterprises, if you make the transition successful, the benefits that you of course get are get a holistic thinking of how each and every aspect of your business is working, how every part of your technology infrastructure, every part of your business is working, identify what the options for optimizations, bringing in new efficiencies, lower and mitigate your risks, and make use of the data and make use of the analytics, and then make informed decisions. And to allow or to make that all happen, we use AWS best practices to build applications which would help our customers achieve some of these things. Of course, there are challenges in doing this transition. The challenges start right from security. We've seen cases, or we've all read stories in the past few days about how security has become a concern, specifically when it comes to personalized data being leaked or personalized data being shared in an unauthorized way. So security starts right from, how are you storing your data? How are you encrypting your data? How are you making sure you have proper access control mechanisms? So there are multiple challenges, when you are doing this transition. And then, of course, these challenges, if you do it in the execute in the right way, of course, you can overcome them. And the benefits of these benefits definitely outweigh the challenges that you have. And we believe that all the enterprises that are looking to transform should invest into some of the best practices that we are going to talk about, some of the 5 pillars of the 21st century architecture framework that I'm just will speak about, and that would definitely help you to transform your business and definitely help you to drive architectures in the right way. So, the 5 pillars of the modern day architecture, as we believe, are security, operational excellence, performance efficiency, reliability, and cost optimization. If you are able to do these 5 things in the right manner, if you are able to execute your technology projects or transformation projects in the right way using these 5 tenets of the well-architected framework, I'm pretty confident that you would be able to transform your organizations into 21st century into a 21st century modern architecture. So we'll talk about all of these 5 pillars, how companies are doing or implementing these 5 pillars of modern day 21st century architecture framework with certain examples and certain points that you need to take care of. The first pillar of the 21st century architecture framework is operational excellence. What do we mean by operational excellence? For us, operational excellence means that you are able to monitor each and every aspect of your technology infrastructure, starting from the network to your application, to your virtual machines, to your databases, knowing where there lies where is a fault which underlies or which is impacting the performance or which is impacting the end user experience, and then with this continuous monitoring, you are able to heal those issues in a quick way. So if you are looking to build, if you're looking to gain operational excellence in your day-to-day operations of your technology infrastructure, you need to align your operations with your business objectives, understand what are the key parameters for your business and what operational excellence means for your business. You need to perform your operations with code. Try and automate as much as possible. Today, there are tools which allow you to manage fleets of servers using a few lines of codes. You can test for responses for unexpected events, and of course, learn from operational failures, learn from events and failures that you've faced in the past, and then try and integrate them within your frameworks. The one example that we have is of an OTT company in India, which has more than 40 million downloads on different mobile devices, and they have a concurrency of a few 100,000 users during peak time. And the way we help them monitor and optimize their or achieve operational excellence for them is we monitor end-to-end infrastructure for them, right from the latency, doing synthetic monitoring, having application performance monitoring on the application server, ensuring we are monitoring all the database queries and query response times for them. And what that has allowed them to do is to scale without worrying about failures. And they are completely hosted on AWS. And what this does is, recently they had a TV show for which they had a live streaming happening on their OTT platform, and they were able to achieve a concurrency of a few million users in India using their mobile applications by monitoring all of these things in the right way and achieving operational excellence. The next thing is, of course, about security. You need to apply security at all levels. Security is key today in today's world where your application or your infrastructure is not a single entity. It is basically connected to multiple different services from not just your company, but you may be getting financial data from some other companies, or you may be getting weather data from somewhere else, and there is a lot of entry points and exit points for your technology infrastructure that you need to monitor. So what we recommend is, of course, to apply security at all the levels, trace everything, log all the events, log all the security events that you could think of, automate responses to those security events. I'll talk about it in a bit. Secure your systems, make uniform hardened AMIs or images which you could replicate to launch more and more instances, which is certified by your security team. and automate all your security best practices, automate the basics of what you need to do or what you need to have in all your on all your infrastructure and application deployment. So we are helping one financial services customer who is are into a regulated space. They are into online lending. They have a lot of customer data, a lot of customer credit history, and they do perform online transactions, financial transactions as well. For them, what we have done is help them monitor uh, their infrastructure and application based on certain benchmarks, certain regulatory frameworks in an automated way. So anytime there is a change in their security posture, we are able to identify that change, and we are able to send out an alert immediately and take preventive action in case we find that that breach of security is malicious. And that has allowed them to host everything on a public cloud platform, and that allows them to scale their business without worrying about infrastructure, without worrying about security. And today at peak, they've the numbers that they've seen is disbursing loans in 100,000 for a few 100,000 users every month, and that's a scale which would not have been possible for them if they were doing this on-premise infrastructure, if they were doing this without doing automation and without implementing security best practices, because otherwise it's just impossible to do. The third tenet of security, 21st century security architecture framework is performance efficiencies. What do we mean by performance efficiencies? Performance efficiencies for us mean that you are able to improve the performance of your application, not just in terms of speed or in terms of the latencies and everything, but also in terms of doing more with less technologies, making your systems more efficient. And how you could achieve that is by using advanced technologies like serverless architectures, like containers. You should be able to deploy your systems with a few clicks or with a single clicks. That's what we aim to achieve for most of our customers. And you should be able to do these deployments globally. You need to use you need to use services which are already available rather than building your own systems. You no longer need to set up a server, install a database, and start using it. Instead, you could use services like DynamoDB or RDS, which would allow you to use certain services which are available to you and which you could launch in a few minutes and are much more reliable than your databases that you would deploy. And then try various configurations and keep on experimenting with how your systems operate in the most optimum way. One example is a local Singaporean company for whom we are building a back-end infrastructure for one of their mobile applications, which is connected to the devices that they install at different customer locations. And what we are doing there is, previously they were on a virtual machine stack and using certain relational databases, which did not allow them to scale at the speed at which they wanted to do it, and the cost that they were getting because of the VMs and physical servers and database licenses was tremendous. So what we've helped them do and build is build a completely microservices-driven architecture using AWS Lambda, AWS Config, DynamoDB, and API gateway. And today, they have more than 60 plus web services running completely on Lambda without having a single server in the backend. So they are using different services of AWS. They are able to scale at scale that they were not able to achieve using the physical servers, and they are able to do innovation at a much faster pace. The next tenet of the 21st century architecture framework is reliability. Now, by reliability, what we mean is, your systems should be able to run on their own. They should be able to self-heal in case there is any failure in any part of your architecture. You need to have proper recovery procedures. You need to test them multiple times. You need to, automatically recover from failure, automatically add and remove resources as and when needed to ensure that you are able to scale, you are able to recover from the errors that you may be facing, and you are able to give a good experience, good end user experience without facing any downtime. And the final aspect of the 21st century architecture framework is cost optimization, where you need to make sure that you are all of these things were possible even on on-premise to an extent, but that would have cost you probably 10x of what it would cost you right now using cloud and microservices. So you need to make sure that you are using proper billing mechanisms. You are able to, use pay-as-you-go policies of AWS, and you are able to make sure that you are able to cap the cost of your application, of your infrastructure in the right way, and you do not need to invest into data center operations any longer. Rather, you could just spin off application infrastructure in a much faster way using cloud and AWS. So these were the 5 tenets that I wanted to share about modern day architectures. And I wanted to invite up on stage one of our customers, a local Singaporean enterprise, which is undergoing this same journey that we spoke about right now. And they would be here to share their experience with all of us. I would like to welcome upon stage Mr. Steve Ang from Mediacorp. Please welcome Steve on stage.
Hey, thanks, Varoon. Hey, thanks, man. Thanks for having me here.
Welcome,
Hi,
Steve.
good morning, everyone. My name is Steve. I'm from Mediacorp. So basically, Mediacorp has been broadcasting radio since 1936. And we also start broadcasting TV in 1963. So we come a very long way in terms of the media industry. So what drives us to change is about the digital transformation. So today, we want to just share some of the things that we do, some of the experience we gain, and how this could be some of the things that you can take back and help to drive innovation within your companies.
So Steve, I have a few questions for you. So as we have seen, media industry is probably the one which is being disrupted the most with the cheap internet, fast internet, with handheld devices and so on. So at Mediacorp, how are you keeping pace up with operational excellence, reliability, and how are you staying ahead of the curve?
Correct. So I guess in our experience that we learn from the best in the industries, right? Not just within media, but across the whole technology landscape. So for us, we aim ourselves to be the best in the class of video streaming, in terms of audio streaming, in terms of website technologies. So we always benchmark ourselves against the best. But that also gives us a goal in mind for the entire company to drive towards. So having a goal and a vision is very important. So the alignment of people, the skills, the processes, the stakeholders, all are aligned to the same common goals, and we can achieve a lot in a very short time. So like last year, we did a lot of changes within the transformation. We did try out new technologies from Amazon Web Services, right? We also engaged partners like Amazon Professional Services, our partners BlazeClan, and the account team within AWS. That gives us a lot of input in terms of what we want to do, how can it be done, what's the best way to take it forward, and how do we quickly test, try out, right? In certain things we do, we want to fail fast, right? Learn from it and restart, right? Review, improve the technology, the processes, and right, make it happen. So I think we did a lot of things in the first 2 years. But I guess in today's terms, we want to take it to the light speed, right? So we need a lot of help.
All right. So what are some of the initiatives that you have at Mediacorp around automation, around gaining operational excellence?
Yes. So one of the things that we do today is that the mindset for my team is very simple. Whatever that you do today manually is repeatable, can be automated. So what do we mean by that? Right. So first thing is that if you say, for instance, we're doing a lot of OS patching, monitoring, and all those things. So if this is a mundane task, why are we doing it manually? Right? So today we use like AWS System Manager, Patch Manager solution to help us manage the fleet of services across EC2 to see which are the OS stack, application stack that is out of sync in terms of a patch policy and apply those patches along the way. So that one thing is that A, is automated. B, right, the people free up the time to do a lot more innovative stuff. Things like investing in Lambda at Edge to help us in terms of some of our websites, some of our video streamings. So a lot of things that we're doing are on top of innovation. DevOps also come into play a lot. So today we use Terraform to lay out entire breadth of our core critical application in AWS for our BCP and DR. So that at the click of a button, we can actually lay out the whole farm quickly and start the services to continue our business operations. So these are some of the innovation that we do today, but I feel that this is still day one, right? So one of the things that I mentioned to the team is that the best time to start cloud journey is actually yesterday, right? The next best time is actually today. So you have not started, I think that's what we want the team to start looking into.
All right, so you keep speaking about team, right?
Yeah.
And DevOps, as we understand, is not just about tools
Yeah.
and technologies, it's also about people.
Yes.
So what are the challenges that you face while getting this transformation done from having a mindset about doing mundane tasks to automating a lot of things and
Yeah.
keep themselves relevant in the
Sure.
ecosystem?
Yes. So I guess in terms of our portfolio, we actually have an acronym called PPTX, right? It doesn't stand for PowerPoint, right? But actually people, process, technology, and experience, right? So when we do DevOps or any transformation, we need to take care of the people. A, to know where are our strengths, where are our gaps, what are we doing to improve the skill set and the mindset of our people to make sure that A, they're aligned. Second, process. Right, we always look into areas where we can simplify the process, automate the process, and remove redundant processes. Right, so we cut a lot of red tapes, a lot of things to make sure that A can be done, is agreed upon, and we can do it. Third is technology. So we learn the tools, learn new services, how we apply, how we improve. So one of the things that we get the team to do is continuous improvement in anything they do. Paper process, SOP, right, automation, system management. Everything that we do can be improved upon every time we learn. The fourth one is basically experience. So what I mean by experience is both things. User experience for our internal users, as well as audience experience for people like everybody in the room who consume our services like on Channel News Asia, Today Online, right? Me Radio for audio streaming, and also Toggle for the video entertainment. So we want to make sure that we deliver the best experience for you so that you can benefit from the things that we do at the back end.
All right. So do you think this transformation is possible without, if you try to do this on your own, or are you working with other partners? And if
Sure.
yes, how are you working with other partners?
Yeah, so in Mediacorp, my team is actually a very lean team, right? So we have very few people managing the entire operations across Mediacorp, right, for our digital properties. So what we do today is that being a lean team, having tools and automation is important, but we also need extra help when we have new technology that we need to embrace and learn. So we engage partners like BlazeClan. We also engage the entire AWS account team, solution architecture team, and also professional services to help us brainstorm in terms of what is the right strategy and approach, right? We don't want to do everything like we are day one, we're testing everything. No. We want to learn from the use cases, customer successes, what are the things they already have skipped through, learn from their experience, and adopt that and actually integrate into our own processes. That helps us to jumpstart a lot of new innovation projects. And at times, we find that in the past, we may think that this project will be doing in the 12 months. But when we actually start doing it and learn the best thing, we actually take about 1-2 months to investigate, try, and then when we do it, we actually achieve it in a relatively much shorter time span and a lower cost as well.
All right. Are there any other key learnings, experiences that you want to share with our audience?
Yes, I guess in terms of cloud journey, we are always learning, right? AWS has evolved from like early days from S3 to now 130 over services. So for us in Mediacorp, we're also looking at what's next, right? How can we use the latest technology services to help us, right, improve our value to our audience, improve our internal efficiency and cost. So again, it's always we want to do more with less, right? But less means less time, less effort, right? But maintaining the same skill set that we have, hopefully we get an elite team of people in our operations and infra team to be able to drive all this innovation.
All right. Thank you, Steve, for your
Thank you so much.
experience.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone, thank you, Steve, for your experience.
Thanks.
And I hope that was useful for everyone. Just as a closing note, I wanted to share that our journey would not have been possible if we ourselves were not working with partners. One thing that we've learned as a business and in this space is you need to build ecosystems, and the closest ecosystem partner that we have is AWS today. And I'm sorry, I'll just skip this slide because we are short of time. But I just wanted to thank the AWS ProServe team as well, who has helped us in helping customers like Mediacorp and beyond, where we've done a lot of work together, ensuring that we are able to bring in a culture of innovation, able to bring in new age modern architectures for our customers as we help more and more customers across the globe. So with this, I wanted to end the presentation. I hope this was useful for everyone. If you have any questions about what we do and how we can help you and your enterprise or your startup with modern day architectures, with automation, with managed services, please do visit us at booth D4. And we have a lot of interesting talks going on from our partners like Palo Alto, New Relic, and so on at our booth. So if you are interested in learning more about those services as well, please do visit our booth. And thank you, everyone, for your time. And I hope this was useful for everyone. Thank you.